Libra, hello. Ashley here. We're going to do your April forecast. We are going to look at a strength, a challenge, and then the potential outcome for you. And we have flexible in reverse. So I'm actually going to look at that real quick. Well, that could just mean you're being stubborn about something, right? But let's look. Flexible in the reverse. When you or someone else becomes too rigid, you lose access to growth and untapped potential and find yourself in an us versus them scenario. Loosen up, open your mind and heart, and see if a more flexible approach feels better. Can you find a way to bring about a result that is mutually beneficial? Meeting in the middle. All right. It does look like we've got this into me, I see, right? And it is a number 8. So it's becoming, your strength for the month of April is just being more connected to the self, being more in tune with what your needs are, your values are, right? And then the challenge here is peace. It says, Dove Spirit, be peace. So you could be running into some conflict here. And perhaps there's a situation arising in April that is sort of challenging you in this way. It's like you want to honor yourself, right? But you also are in this position of struggling with another individual, or even perhaps a situation, right, where you're having to find, like, how can I compromise without abandoning my own values and beliefs, but how can I also look at this in such a way that allows for, you know, a potential meeting of the minds, or a meeting in the middle. So we're going to look and see what that is particularly talking about in this reading. You are welcome to check your other placements as well, because when I do these April forecasts, or these monthly forecasts, I should say, the strongest message comes through, right? I mean, we're looking at one story. So I do definitely recommend you check your other placements. Leave me a comment down below. You can share this with another Libra if you feel like they might find it beneficial. And be sure to hit that like button. It definitely supports the channel. It helps it to get more action with that algorithm. And in turn, it helps me. So I appreciate it. So Libra, what's going on here? What is going on? All right. And Libra, I will say that being the sign of Libra, which is all about relationship, Libras can often be put in situations where they're really kind of struggling to find that balance between relationships to others and relationship to the self. And so this is definitely showing up clearly here. We have the Page of Swords, the Hermit, and the Ace of Pentacles. Judgment, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. We have Patience, which is the Temperance card. Trying to find that balance, right? The Two of Swords and the Five of Wands. I almost feel like here there could be this avoidance of conflict showing up here, but it's still right outside your door, is what I want to say. And so in the month of April, it's kind of like, it's like what you really want is for things to be copacetic, right? But you're running into a situation where there is some challenge here. It does look like it seems to be centered around, really honoring yourself here, right? And what you feel like your needs are, your values are, perhaps where you feel called to take your life, what life direction you're feeling curious about here, right? Because I'm really noticing this Ace of Pentacles. It seems to be the thing, it's like there's some sort of new start here that you're either really curious about or wanting to explore, or that's coming in here, and I actually feel like it could be causing a little bit of conflict. You could be dealing with an earth sign. The Queen of Pentacles for me is Capricorn energy, but this could be Virgo, Taurus here. This could be a mother figure. That showed up strongly in the Gemini reading, was this parental kind of energy. This could also be a boss, right? So we will see. We do have the Two of Swords here. It's almost like this avoidance tactic. So if there's a conflict for the month of April, it's almost like the avoidance of the conflict is the problem, rather than facing the music here. It could be that you just don't want to have to deal with it. So there's this nervousness around it almost. And so it's almost like you're pulling yourself inwards in order to avoid some sort of headbutting with someone else here. And I actually feel like on one end it's a good thing because you're looking deeper into yourself and really trying to understand where you're coming from, like get a better understanding of your own needs, values, and kind of integrate that understanding within yourself. But then it looks like whether you want to avoid the problem or not, it's going to show up here. There's going to be some sort of conflict here that needs to be faced. I don't feel initially here like it's this big deal. Like it's not like this full blown out explosive argument or something. But there's a lot of nervousness around it. And it could just be that you're just typically not confrontational and you don't like confrontation. And so you're like trying to hide from it, right? Bottom of the deck, we have the World, the Ten of Swords, Three of Wands, Nine of Swords, oh my, Seven of Swords. So you've definitely been through the ringer on something here. We've had a huge lesson come to a completion. And I feel like this Ace of Pentacles is that new beginning after this cycle has closed out. But there's definitely been some harsh lessons here with the Ten of Swords. Could have been some betrayals here. A lot of stress, sleepless nights, potentially a lack of trust in others. I almost feel like you may have pulled yourself inward as a self-protective measure, right? Because you were dealing with so much chaos as this cycle of karma came to a close. So let's look into this. Into me, I see. So again, definitely this reflective, personal, it's like you're in a bubble kind of thing going on here. And it's kind of like this hermit energy that's showing up in the challenge of the month. We have the Page of Swords, the Judgment card, and Temperance. For some of you, there's some sort of decision here that is being avoided. I feel like you're kind of taking your time to really think this through, to really look into this. There's a lot of curiosity here. You could be doing some background information, you know, research, that kind of thing. Like you're really trying to look at your options here. But at the same time, it could very well be that the trap is getting stuck in that energy of just researching it to death, overthinking it, stalling, you know, this avoidance energy. So let's see. Page of Swords. We have the Six of Pentacles. We're talking about values here, equal give and take. Definitely could be looking into something that where you're wanting to bring in more balance for yourself here, right? Which we talked about with the Temperance card here. This could even be a new sort of, this could be relationship related or even work related, where you're looking for a better paying position. But I do feel with the Strength card showing up here, it's challenging you in a way that is growth driven. So it's going to force you outside of your comfort zone. And that could be what's kind of causing this feeling of procrastination or hiding away from something. Let's see, Judgment. We have the Ten of Pentacles. And the Seven of Wands. I do feel like this is some sort of like soul calling here that's showing up for you. It's kind of like this maybe long-term legacy that you've been wanting to build, wanting to create for yourself. Especially if you've just closed out a cycle where a lot of your time, energy, and focus, the things that you had built, came crumbling to the ground. Because we had that, the World, the Ten of Swords, the Nine of Swords. So there's been definitely some endings here that have kind of shaken up your life, right? And it could also be that for some of you, I do feel like there's reflecting here about a past long-term relationship that has ended. Like really trying to see what went wrong, trying to integrate the lessons that you've learned there. There could still be this desire to work on it, fight for it, stand up for this, like not let that tower fall all the way to the ground. With Temperance, we have the Magician. Definitely trying to create a more balanced experience here. And we have the Queen of Cups. For some of you, there's definitely a desire here to heal something, to bring love into a situation. And it could be a past relationship that you're wanting to manifest and heal. But again, it's like reflecting on how this really challenged you in particular. I do feel like there's a lot of desires coming through here. But there's this energy of just really thinking about what those are rather than necessarily taking action just yet. So this could be desires in love, future, you know, where you want to go from here, especially if you've had relationships or jobs or whatever end, right? It's like, okay, you kind of have almost like a blank slate at this point, and it's like, what do I even see this looking like going forward? Let's look at this challenge here, and the challenge is peace. So could definitely have some struggles in April with, you know, sleepless nights, maybe dealing with some seemingly aggressive people. It could also be that you're struggling a little bit financially here, because there's definitely a focus here on increasing savings, increasing money. And in your challenge position, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is resources. So could be that there's a little bit of a concern about the home or your ability to maintain finances in some way. With the Hermit, we have the Five of Wands. So yes, avoiding conflict. Big time. And the Page of Pentacles. And it's like, it's almost like it's showing up here because it's almost like your goal is to avoid conflict. It's like you're trying to, it's almost like if you were to go into a situation with the set goal of avoiding conflict, it's not like your goal is something else and you just eventually, you come across conflict and you find a way to settle it down. It's almost like avoiding conflict is the initial goal here, which is kind of interesting. Queen of, so it seems to be a focus here. Queen of Pentacles, we get the Four of Wands. So again, this could definitely be a union or a home, right? This could be a long-term commitment here. We have Justice. So this could definitely be your long-term relationship, your marriage, your home, that's showing up here. This could even be the desire to purposely avoid conflict in a marriage here, even though we've got all these things that we're really thinking about and we're wanting to change and we're wanting to see improve and we're wanting to heal, right? It's like the challenge here is like, okay, how do I do all of that without causing a huge upset in my home life or my union here? The Two of Swords, we have the Three of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. I do feel like some of you are trying to it's almost like this is kind of part of the internal speculation or thinking or reflection that's happening here. It's like there could be almost like a lack of faith that something's going to actually work. So it's almost like the avoidance of the conflict and the worry that there's going to be a confrontation here is because deep down it feels like there's a lack of faith that this connection or this home or even just you can handle something. I want to get some more there. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if this is actually destined to last. I don't know if this is actually something that's salvageable. So it's like you're pussyfooting around this person or this connection or whoever this is for you. Again, could be an earth sign. We've got a lot of earth here. We got Pisces, Aquarius showing up. Maybe a little bit of Leo there. So either way, it just feels like this. I'm just trying to like not rock the boat. This is like walking on eggshells kind of energy here. And I actually feel like what you're feeling internally is this necessity to stand up for yourself, to be strong. So your strength here for the month is that you can come forward with all these ideas, these feelings, these things you've reflected on, and you can passionately communicate what you want here, right? You have all the info inside of you. The challenge here is that there's a tendency or a fear around speaking up because you don't want to rock the boat. So heads up on that. Let's look at this potential outcome. We have this inflexible energy, right? So you could definitely be meeting some conflict here. The King of Wands just popped out, so you could be dealing with a fire sign. Let's clarify this and see. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and the Five of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. We have the Two of Cups. King of Swords. With the Page of Wands, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. See, I feel like, well, hold on. I'm not going to speak to that just yet. Five of Wands. We have the Page of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So please do not approach a situation where you hide your desires in order to avoid a conflict. You're only going to screw yourself over. You're going to be the one paying for it. You're going to be the one sad about it when it doesn't work out. That's totally what I'm getting here. Like, it seems to me that you clearly want some sort of connection here, right? You want a new beginning that speaks to your heart. It could be that you want to heal this union here. There's some sort of division between you. It's either already ended in the past and you're wanting to heal it, or it's been injured and now there's this eggshell kind of energy between you and this person. Somebody here wants to take it slow. Somebody wants to move too fast. Right? It's this like, can we meet in the middle? There's definitely a lot of passion here and a desire for things to progress and move forward, right? But something's moving really slowly, and that could be that you're wanting to take things nice and slow, and or vice versa, right? But again, Five of Wands, Page of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. There's this pussyfooting energy here, like you're just terrified of there being a battle here, of there being a butting of heads. Perhaps the person you're dealing with is being very inflexible. I actually feel like with this flexible card in the reverse, I don't actually feel like you are being stubborn about something. It could be that this person is. Right? Maybe they're all logic and no emotion. Could, again, be an Aquarius here. We got that showing up again with the King of Swords. But here's the thing. In some way, if you think of it this way, you might be dealing with someone who's being very stubborn about moving something forward, or is being very stubborn about taking it slow. You apply it how you see fit. But I actually feel like because you're in this energy of just really trying to avoid the conflict, you're sitting in this uncertainty that, like, I don't even have the faith that this can hold it together if I give it one more challenge. I actually feel like that's how you're mirroring this person. Like, they're being very stubborn and opinionated about something. And in that way, even though you seem to be the more flexible one that's just maybe willing to hide their own needs for the sake of this connection, in that way, you're almost stubbornly clinging to the idea that this connection can't handle your opinion. This connection can't handle your needs. So be very careful of that, because if you don't stand up for them, your person certainly will not. There's definitely some reflection to do on this, I feel. It's almost like you're afraid to present your ideas because then this will just explode. If that's actually the truth, right? If that is actually true, this connection is not for you, right? I mean, that's easier said than done. I get it. But if this person, this connection itself can't handle your needs, your desires, then what are you doing in it? Maybe it's not big enough for you. Maybe it's not a big enough container. And maybe it started that way because you were just go along to get along for too long, right? And so that's what this person's used to. You just going along to get along, doing everything they want instead of, divulging your requirements, right? Your needs, your values, your need for balance here, right? So it does feel like a strong lesson here for you to explore. And I think that by looking into April and seeing what the potential is here, the potential blockages and the potential outcome here, you could very well be dealing with someone who's going to stubbornly react to your desires, right? But this card talks about finding that middle ground. So I have no doubt here with the King of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the Page of Swords that this particular conversation is going to initiate more discussion, right? So I hope that was helpful, Libra. I hope that helps to guide you. Definitely rewatch it later if you need to, once this situation starts to arise, right? And stand up for yourself, right? People, two equal people coming together. There's two people involved. Right now it feels like your person's there and you're like this big. And you're just in the shadows. You're just hiding back here. Not wanting to get in the way. Oh. That's what this feels like. So I will see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye.